literature and also presented some papers in SIGRE also and at IIT Mumbai also. So these are all the conceptual part which I have taken up. So recently we have studied prepared a technical brochure and in which we have studied how the blockchain pilot projects are going across the globe. So in that particular technical brochure, many countries like Australia, USA, Switzerland, and Germany, etc. Many countries were there. So we have done a joint technical brochure on that how the blockchain can be used. So technical part most will be taken by IIM Ahmedabad and IIT Gandhinagar. I will just touch upon how you can use the blockchain in power sector. So my topic is ingress of blockchain. That means it's just starting to enter in power sector basically, and how the virtual power plant and all other aggregators will come in power sector. So basically, for electricity sector or power sector, you can say blockchain is the black box, and for blockchain evangelist, the power sector is the black box. So we are trying to come on a common platform. For that, we are studying these projects, and slowly, the pilot projects are being taken up in India and as globe as well. So before starting any presentation or before starting discussing any topic, we need to know about our goals. बेसिकली हमारे गोल्स क्या रहने चाहिए वो हमको स्टार्टिंग में पता होना चाहिए. करंटली बहुत सारी टेक्नोलॉजीज आर इन वोग इन द मार्केट, so we need to know about all the technologies, but we should be sure that which technologies are the achievable future. Basically many technologies are there which might come and go obsolete, but some technologies will be definitely helpful in achieving the benefits that can be indulged in the power sector. So I will be concentrating on the blockchain and virtual power plant. So before taking this in consideration that whether this technology is helpful, we need to know the characteristics or features of that particular concept. And just knowing any fancy technology and just going behind that is not the solution. We need to understand whether really there are challenges in power sector which we need to solve by the use of this technology, because at some point of time we are having already a good system which can cater to our needs, but if there are pains and if at all they are solved by the new technology, then only we need to go towards this technology. So we need to understand the pains of our sector and how these technologies can help. And before going to larger adaptation of this technology, we need to tap the potential of low hanging fruits, and we need to assess which part of the power sector is a fit case for adoption of these technologies. Basically, you can broadly classify the power sector in generation, transmission, and distribution. And as of now, what I feel that you all are from power sector also. So generation and transmission and rather grid operation is also having the latest technologies, and they are utilizing the latest technological developments also. But we are having a lot of pain in the distribution sectors, and a lot of these technologies are useful in discom sector or distribution sector or the downstream network, we can say. So there are many case studies which has been done, or there are many pilot projects also going across the globe that we will study, and what are the challenges in adoption of this technology we will discuss in our presentation. And many more aspirations also you can have before discussing this technology. Currently, there are 8 technological breakthroughs happening around the world: AI, ML, augmented reality, virtual reality, 3D printing, IoT, robotics, and drones. And we will be concentrating on the blockchain. Although this AI, ML, IoT, robotics, and blockchain are interconnected, and they will be using each other for getting a particular good solution for the power sector. Earlier, the power sector was core electrical, mechanical, civil sector, and but recent years we have seen in each and every area that IT is getting ingressed in power sectors, and whole power sector now has been transformed from voltage frequency to mostly in IT also, because most of the controls are governed by IT. And in upcoming days, this will be more IT centric. So this power sector will become more IT centric, and more IT staff will be hired by power sectors. And recently we are already observing these changes. This particularly in power sector, we are seeing that blockchain technology, virtual power plant, we will definitely discuss. We are seeing the electric vehicles coming in a large shape and large form, and distributed energy sources are also there. So this particular DERs are already taken up in the proposed ancillary regulation also, that as ancillary tertiary resources can provide the ancillary also, and that we are considering a demand response mechanism also, battery storage also, and solar rooftop, whatever you are having that can support the grid. Those all things are considered DRs, and already EV infrastructure is also under construction in metro cities like Delhi, Mumbai, and Kolkata and Bangalore. So these all things are coming in large scale, and this is the area. These are the areas where this blockchain technology and virtual power plant will come in picture. Secondly, there are four types of consumers. Consumers, as we all know, that those are the electrical consumers which are used utilizing electricity. Prosumers can be classified as producers plus consumers. That means the person who is having the solar rooftop on his in his house or in his premises, they are called producers plus consumers. So now they will be called as prosumers. Third category is coming, which are having the storage also. So they are called prosumers basically. They are having battery storage. They are consumers, and they are producers also. And last and foremost category will come in future, because the person who is a consumer will have full setup of battery generation and electricity consumption. They will be connected to grid only for emergency cases. Otherwise, they can handle their load with their own generation. So in that case, only if everything fails, then only they will take the power from the grid. So they will be called as non-consumers. Demand side management, which is the requirement of grid operators like POSOCO, or you can say SLDCs also are managing this. So basically, this demand side management will help like a lot, because we cannot have the generation or transmission infrastructure as much as we can, because everything adds to the cost of the infrastructure. So for that, we need to have the optimum infrastructure, optimum power infrastructure, so that we can meet the demands. Currently in northern region also, you can say it is basically we are having the installed capacity of around about 109 gigawatt, and our load is roughly 50,000, 60,000, or at most 70,000 megawatt. So in that case, we are we need to develop a infrastructure, develop a power infrastructure that can be helpful in catering our needs. So these all things will come whenever we are shifting our attention towards these technologies and how better we can use these technologies. Smart contracts for settlements in real time, because whenever we are giving the electricity or transacting the electricity, we need to have the settlement in the real time. This particular smart contract or blockchain technology will help to resolve all the settlements, like peer-to-peer trading. Whenever you're doing the trading with your peers, like your neighbors and all, you're having solar rooftop, you can trade that also. Some person is going on vacation, he's having the solar rooftop, he can put his electrical energy for sale to the person who is already residing there. So he can go on vacation and utilize his solar energy. In his absence also, he can gain something. A regulatory sandbox is a mechanism in which you can put whatever new technology you want to test in the real environment. You can put that particular technology parallel to the existing network or system, and you can analyze the end results. But the end results are not fed in the real environment. In that case, you can have the analysis, and once you are confident enough that that particular technology is fit to use in this power sector or whatever environment or existing environment you are using, then you can have some regulations and you can adopt that technology by analyzing the real-time results. So that experiment you can do in regulatory sandbox mechanism. Balancing responsibility parties, these are already existing across the globe. This will definitely be coming in future, as you can see that ancillary service regulation has already come. In that case, these all parties or aggregators will come into picture, who will be identifying the persons who are willing to accept the power cut, and some parties the electricity in the crunch times, or you can say peak times. So some consumers will be ready to accept the power cut and they will get the incentive, and the person who doesn't want the power cut will pay a higher price for that particular electricity. So these all will be managed by the balancing responsible parties or the aggregator, and that will be done by the use of blockchain technology or the normal technology also we can do, but you need to have the virtual power plant. Blockchain technology has its own advantages that we will discuss in coming slides. Why blockchain technology? Blockchain technology is definitely required because there is no third party involvement. You can have the transaction between two peers, between two organization, or two directly to the grid. So in that case, if at all there is no third party involvement, you will definitely reduce the cost. Whatever transactions you are going to take care, that will be trusted, because it is a sort of end-to-end encryption like we are having in the WhatsApp and all other social media, that you can nobody can come in between that. So that is trusted transaction. And if at all somebody is doing something in the transit, then the transaction which the receiver is getting, that is tamper evident, because there will be some time stamping on that particular transaction. So in that case, if at all there is some tampering done, you will be able to know that how whether it is foolproof or some tampering is being done. So this technology is not tamper proof, but it is tamper evident basically. The more security layers you can put on this, and it is very much cyber secure. This will reduce cost and transparency. Definitely every person or every node of this particular network is having the distributed ledger, means separate ledger. Every ledger is available with all the nodes, so you have full transparency. Whenever any changes are being done, it is known to each and every node which is connected this to this particular technology or particular platform. There will be no single point of failure, because in case you are connected with centralized agency, some mishaps happens, you can consider a grid operator, or you can consider a load dispatcher, or you can consider a central banking system. Some cyber attack is there, then everybody is being affected, because there is a centralized network. In this case, everybody is having a separate ledger, separate copy, that to unalterable copy. So in that case, you can avoid such type of single point of failure, and real time tracking whenever any transaction is being happened, that is copied to all the ledgers, all the nodes, so that they get updated. In which we were having the centralized ledger with centralized verification and computation. In whenever you go with blockchain, all those ledgers are distributed, and with decentralized verification means every node can verify with the past records and add the new records and compute that, so they can validate also. So this is basically a more trusted sort of mechanism without centralized intervention, and that will further reduce the cost of this particular transaction or particular thing we are we are transacting the power and all. They will have foolproof transactions in totality. This figure you can see, currently we are having the centralized grid, which is having nuclear power plants, all traditional conventional power plants. And this is the decentralized grid of tomorrow. We are in the transit phase. We are just having electric vehicles in some part. Smart homes is yet to come in India. Factories, distribution grid, aggregators also we are not having right of as of now. Grid storage is coming in some isolated places like Delhi. We are having 10 megawatt grid storage. So solar farms are also there, but they are too far away. In the coming years, every society or premises will have at least solar rooftop in the premises that is sufficient to manage their a bit of electricity consumption. So more or less, we are in the presently in a transit phase. We are not at all in this phase, and definitely across the globe also they are just started to adopt all these technologies. And here you can see wherever the smart home is coming, electric vehicle is coming, or small solar rooftop are coming, grid storage. These all things will definitely require some technology, and this technology can be some open source platform, and that can be adopted, and that can be catered by the use of blockchain technology as well. These are the sectors you can see. Banking and finances are the sector which are using most of the blockchain, and 30% of blockchain technology is being used in the finance and banking. That means the most sensitive part of your country is using blockchain. So you can very well believe on this technology. 13% government and public goods and land registry also they are using. And here we are going to discuss the 3% energy and utility part where we are using this blockchain technology. So you can see in the coming time, this particular energy sector will be definitely coming within the 10 to 15% arena. So for that, we need to be more aware of these technologies, and one should not get confused with the Bitcoin or cryptocurrency or blockchain. Okay, blockchain is the basic principle. Cryptocurrency and Bitcoin are a product, but not the entire blockchain technology, or not the entire features of this blockchain technology. Blockchain technology is the legal part, but cryptocurrency, Bitcoin might not be a legal tender in some countries. So we need not to go in that intricacies. This is the technical brochure which we have prepared recently. You can see in C5 SIGRE the role of blockchain technology in power markets. So you can see many members from different countries like Australia, South Africa, Germany, US, Japan, China, all are Russia also. So these all members have studied. You can find India also, PK Agrawal and SK Jain in that particular slide. So these all things uh, are being studied, and a report was put up so that we can analyze whether this technology before adopting is fit for use in power sector or not. So these are the areas of blockchain, areas of electric sector in which blockchain can be used. You can see auditing, billing is again leading here. 7% is used in EV charging solution. It is definitely helpful. Smart grid application 11%, automated control of DERs and trading. You can find that only 9% is used in grid management. That means most of the blockchain technology can be used in the distribution part or the lower side of the grid, where the pains are more and where the public is involved at large, and they can access the open source infrastructure, open source platform, wherein they can register, because now everybody is social or IT savvy person. They can use Paytm, Phone Pay, any app you give them, they will utilize it like anything. So now common people you have to connect. You cannot give them the highly sophisticated infrastructure. So you need to go for some small applications, and that small applications will definitely help us to manage the grid in a better way. And as we go on progressing in this presentation, you will understand that how this small blockchain application will uh, help the grid in at large. These are the two blockchain frameworks we are using. One is Ethereum and second is Hyperledger Fabric. So most of the blockchain technology or blockchain frameworks used utilized in power sector are Ethereum basically. Ethereum is also a currency also, but this is a platform which doesn't have any integration or some attachment with this currency. So you need not to get confused that this Ethereum is that particular currency. Okay, this is a platform, and this basically works on proof of work consensus mechanism. All the nodes means you will be having some doubt what are the nodes. Basically, nodes can be consumer also, can be load dispatcher also, can be a organization also, that generator also, virtual power plant also, means whosoever are the stakeholders of that particular area, particular locality, or particular system, be it in generation, transmission, distribution. So mostly we will be talking about the distribution sector or the downstream network. So these all consumers can be different nodes. Nodes is you can understand very easily that you can load some platform like in more simple words you can say that you are going on Paytm platform, you are registering yourself, then you are becoming a node of that Paytm, you are becoming a node of that phone pay or milk basket or grofers, whatever, blinkit or irctc, you are becoming a node. So these all nodes are nodes in this current mechanism. You are suppose take an example of irctc. You are having only three stakeholders like you are consumer, and then centralized framework of railways, and then they are connected with some banking solution. But in this blockchain network, everybody can connect with each other. So that is the beauty of this blockchain framework. Second part is Hyperledger Fabric. So this is basically open source distributed ledger, and again, this platform is designed for executing smart contracts. Smart contracts you can understand in a very simple way. Suppose you transact some 10 units of power with your neighbor or with the grid. Okay, so once you transfer the power to this particular, suppose A to B, then uh, as soon as the power transfer is happening with B, then automatically smart contract will execute, and within a particular time period, the money which is intended means suppose A is seller and B is buyer, so B will automatically pay this amount to A, and these all are the basically smart contracts. So this smart contracts can be fabricated or which can be weaved on this particular Hyperledger fabric. So nodes, again I told you, can be either client, peer, or leader, and execute order validation. Some will be executing, some will be ordering, some will be validation. So whatever transactions you are doing on this particular network, these are being validated. Some validators also we can keep. Suppose in case of peer-to-peer transformer, if you are transacting through the local grid, then local grid can be the validator. That suppose some 10 units of power has been given to grid, and grid has given to a X person. So in that case, grid operator will can become a validator. So these all transactions are transparent. These all can be done on this particular fabrics. And one more, you can see that eco chain, energy wave chain, energy. These all chains are basically the open source infrastructure which has been open to public, and they can log in and they can make their account and they can become a node. So mostly blockchain framework which is being used is Ethereum and EcoChain, and Hyperledger Fabric is also utilized too much in this particular sector. Again, Python proprietary. Proprietary means you can have your own system, you can have your own fabric or infrastructure. So most commonly is utilized is Ethereum. These are the consensus mechanism. Basically, every blockchain is having some consensus mechanism. Consensus, in simple words, you can understand that uh, you can have validation of something. So suppose one is doing some transaction, other is receiving the transaction, and some more parties are interwoven in that. So these all, suppose there are 10 nodes, and if 10 nodes, there are 9 nodes are basically agreeing to a transaction. Whatever transaction happens, they will validate, okay, this transaction has happened. So these all basically consensus mechanism. So one is proof of work. Proof of work is mostly used in cryptocurrencies. So in that case, you have to mine the nodes, you have to mine the coins, etc. And POS, proof of stake. Proof of stake, you can easily understand that the one person who is having the larger stake in this particular, suppose a person is having out of 1000 megawatt, one person is having the stake of say 600 megawatts, then he will have the larger validation rights. So in that case, the person who is powerful, he can definitely control that particular blockchain network. So these all are simple mechanisms or concession mechanism. PBFT is the practical Byzantine fault tolerance. In that case, suppose some nodes are suspects, they are doing some suspicious transactions. So in that case, you need to follow that. You need to, your system will work definitely, but it will work at a lower speed. In that case, you need to identify that suspicious nodes. So for that identification, you need to adopt that PBFT mechanism. In that case, you take the you have to analyze the cases where the real transaction is being validated. Some person will definitely disapprove the real transaction also. So you need to rectify, or you need to separate those faulty nodes. This PBFT mechanism will help you in doing that. So different consensus mechanisms are there. So technicalities will be discussed by our next speaker in tomorrow's session. So whatever intricacies or this consensus mechanism you need to understand, you need to ask the questions with them, who are dealing the technicalities of this particular blockchain. They are the IT professionals. 24% POW is being used, and 30% is proof of authority. And definitely, you can use each and everything depending on the requirement, whatever you are having. Uh, some person's mic has been put on. So basically, these are pie charts we are seeing now. We have analyzed nearly 140 blockchain initiatives across the globe, which are either pilot or which are use cases. In that case, we have come out of this result, and these are the real results. These are not the assumptions which we are putting up on the slide. So you can see 33% of the blockchain technology is used in the decentralized energy trading. That means again the downstream network. Everybody is knowing that now REC or renewable energy certificates are also there. So green certificates and carbon trading also, you can see 6% or 6 to 7% they are using this. Grid management also they are using 9%. IoT smart devices, electric e-mobility. Now it is not that much, but in coming years it will definitely increase. Cryptocurrency, tokens and investment 19%. So these all things uh, are depending on the purpose of blockchain, or the property of blockchain you want to utilize in your particular pilot or use cases. Second, pie, you can see that which platform is being used. So you can find that Ethereum is 50% used in this particular power sector. So Ethereum is largely used in this particular power sector. 50% means, that means it will be a leader in coming years. And proof of work is capturing the 55% of the pie chart. PBFT is also there, that is 15%. You can have more validation. So these all things are basically result of the case studies we have done in this particular technical brochure, and it shows a sample. And basically, you can see the business cases in all these things, that which fabric you want to use, which consensus mechanism you want to use, and which are the areas you mostly get the benefits of this blockchain technology in power sector. These are different coins like or different areas, different blockchain platform we are mm, analyzed. So you can see Electron, Conjol, Freel, Oli, Slockit, Stormdao, and these are the name of the blockchain these are being used. So some we will be discussing in the coming presentation. This we can skip because basically which blockchain is used in the which part of the electricity market. So decentralized electricity market, you can use the Conjol blockchain. You can just go and search on the Google that how they are using this Conjol virtual power plant or what blockchain is used in the P2P trading solar. You can have the similar mechanisms suited to our country. EV charging management, Slockit is the blockchain platform which is famous in this across the globe. Demand side management, they are using Oli blockchain. So these all are the name of blockchain. These are the established network which are being done as a pilot, or they are in use cases also. This is a simple study of Oli blockchain. Oli is based on Ethereum, and it is basically concession algorithm is proof of stake, and business models are P2P, P2B, and B2B. So you can see in the coming slide, this is the architecture of Oli blockchain. This you can see the Oli Ethereum-based blockchain are put in all the premises. You can see the examples of roofs with solar rooftops. You can see the battery storage there. You can see the combo of all solar, wind, and etc. Factories also, batteries also, electric vehicles also are connected. So this is the real photo of the Oli blockchain energy cells also. You can see that Oli boxes are installed at all the buildings that may be our premises, and one house or multiple loads having generation and loads are considered as energy cells. So this only hardware you need to put on your premises, and this only hardware and software will definitely communicate with the real-time grid. In the second picture, you can see that you can have the access to electricity market as well. You can have the accounting also of that, and you can have the weather forecast available with you, that in which part of the time, in which part of the period the electricity prices are less or higher, where you need to cut the load, so you can optimize your price of electricity used. Everybody in this particular conference might be knowing that the price of electricity varies with the time period also. It is not basically a fixed type of thing that uh, which is being billed to end consumers. Basically, in peak hours, you need to shell out more money to buy the same megawatt of electricity. In off peak hours, you get depending on the prices. Of course, right now it is not available with the end consumer, but in the coming years, you need to assess your needs. You need to manage your demand based on the prices. So this particular only hardware and only software will help you in doing that. So you need to plan right now, and you need to develop the business models uh, starting from today itself. Second one is Slockit. Slockit is also a blockchain framework. The consensus algorithm is proof of authority. Business models, definitely P2P trading in microgrids. So this will be helpful in getting the electric vehicles connected to this share and charge network. Nowadays, the vehicles, electric vehicles are coming with the latest infrastructure. They can connect with the nearest battery charging device also, because all everything is now coming in the Wi-Fi platform. They are using sharing the common cloud interface also. So in that case, everything is connected. Like earlier, we were having the access to petrol pumps, and now we will be searching the EV charging infrastructure, and your vehicle will definitely tell you that how much charging is available with your battery, and which is the nearest infrastructure available where we can charge our battery. So these all things are basically we woven in this particular blockchain platform. You can utilize this Locket for electric mobility and clean energy certificates also. If at all you are generating some electricity on utilizing the renewable energy like solar rooftop or wind or something like that. So in that case, you can be eligible to RECs also. Current mechanism, one SLDC has to validate for whatever energy you are using. In coming years, you need not to get the validation from SLDCs. That means earlier I told you that removal of centralized agencies. So slowly this is happening. So everybody can now interact and everybody will be able to go through the aggregator models like Ola, Uber, etc. So in that case, customers also can switch the energies. Suppliers also, they can see from where they can buy the electricity. They can even have the smart contracts in real time with the renewable power developer also. So in that case, everything is possible, but you need to adopt these technologies. This is basically the incubed architecture. You can see there are three layers in this particular architecture. You can have the last layer is for client layer where all the consumers are existing and every node is being interacting with each other. You can interact with the middle layer also, that is basically in three node, right? So in that case, one is client layer, second is node layer, and third is smart contract layer. We can have where we can have the node registry or block hash registry where you can interact. And interacting doesn't mean that a person has to interact. These nodes will have the mechanism or the software platform which can easily interact and can take the decisions in real time also. So these all management will not only help the consumers, the end consumers to optimize their price, but definitely they will help the grid also, because managing the grid in the peak hours is really a very cumbersome job. If at all end consumers are ready to cooperate in this particular scenario, definitely they need to incentivize and grid also will run in a smooth way. This is a pilot project which is called EDGE, Energy Demand and Generation Exchange. This is recently being launched by the Australian electricity market operator. So again, in this particular EDGE, this is a distribution energy resource platform basically, where grid operators can have the visibility of the solar rooftop or the battery available across different households and different commercial setups. So that way they can visualize where these all things are available, these resources are available. So resource adequacy is being talked nowadays in electrical sector, power sector. So in that case, if you have the real visibility of these resources, definitely you can manage the grid. Uh, Despite going on the different infrastructure, operating system infrastructure, in siloed mode, they need to utilize, they need to register at a common platform, and from where their visibility will get. And this is
अब अभी वो तो बोल रहा है कि अब सेटलमेंट करवाओगे हाँ तो सेटलमेंट तो अब हमारी सर चोरी नहीं है तो हम सेटलमेंट कैसे कर
there is some disturbance, sorry. Okay. So project duration is 1 year from commencing from April 2022, and definitely they have already this is circulated, and on their site you can go on AEMO site, you will find this particular software platform pilot project. You can register that, you can have this technology, you can utilize it, and after 1 year they will analyze all the results, and definitely a lot of coverage is there. You can see the 10 megawatt of DER is available in this particular pilot project, and approximately 1,000 household and commercial consumers are connected to this particular pilot project. And funding arena has done, and software is Mark Logic Layer, PXI SE, and Microsoft Azure Cloud Computing System. So consumers, DNO means distribution network operator, and AO is market operator. Of H, any user, as I earlier told that in Paytm, PhonePe, you can generate your own identity, and these are digitized identifiers. User can generate identity on cryptographic algorithm. This is a open source infrastructure. DSB messaging. In that case, you can give the unicast message or multicast messages. Means if at all you are intending a particular consumer or particular consumer base, you can give message to them also, or to the whole connected stakeholders. Utility layer, identify and role based access management. You can identify the persons, you can identify the SLDCs or the grid operators. You can assign roles also to them. Catch a survey for this is particularly for user friendly experiences and whatever queries you want to raise on this particular network. These are the decentralized identifiers. You need not to go in more technicalities, but just you understand that you are having some digital identity, and which is basically electronically generated, and nobody can access this. You have full control on this. Not even a single data is stored in a centralized database. You have database or privacy with yourself, and suppose the centralized database has to communicate with you, then they need to get your permission, and whatever data you want to send them, you can send, and definitely they cannot utilize your data for their commercial or some other analytical means without your permission. You can have the concept of public private key pairs. You can easily understand that you are having some user ID, that user ID or mail ID you are sharing with person, but you're not sharing the password. So in that case, you can see that public-private key mode of system also can be taken care in this, or can be utilized in this particular uh, ID creation. This I told powers of messaging services for high volume, low latency, machine-to-machine communication. Also, you can have, you can go for broadcast messaging, like we are creating one group in WhatsApp, also the broadcast group. You are sending a message to many persons but your single identity, not forming a WhatsApp group, but you are forming a broadcast group. Unicast messaging, particular specific recipient. Suppose some are having solar rooftop only, so you need to share some message to only solar rooftop owners. You can go for unicast messaging. If you want to broadcast the message to all the participants or the stakeholders of their network, then you can go for multicast messaging. This is one more project California ISO has taken up, and this is basically Flax Alert pilot project. And this is really very helpful to the grid operator. Again, as grid operator, I am very much concerned about the grid, and also if you are end consumer, then you need to optimize your cost, and whatever contribution you can give to manage the grid, you need to do that. But yeah, you need some incentives, and also these all things are being planned. So in that case, it is called as a demand flexibility platform that connects end consumers to the grid operators. You can have the access to real-time market prices. You can have the access to real-time grid frequency. You can have the access for LGBR, load generation balance also, whatever means with for a small consumer, you need not to go for that all technically. You just have to show them currently this price is this, and if you want to purchase power or you want to accept the power cut, you need to clearly visualize that, because everybody is having a different understanding. At grid operator level, we are more concerned about the frequency, but at the end consumer mode, we are most concerned about the economy. So this particular thing will be taken care of, this flex alert demand flexibility platform. We can also develop in India. It is for California. They have done it. You can see that in case of a stress grid condition, CAISO, California ISO, CAISO calls Flex Alert, and Flex Alert in turn gives the message to subscribers to conserve or use electricity. Suppose you are subscriber Flex Alert, it's okay. You are getting the advanced message. Suppose some person are non-subscriber also, so that you can alert them in social media platform also. You can utilize the news media also. So whatever awareness you can create, or whatever help you can get from the end consumer to manage the grid, it's always welcome. So in that case, you need to have, currently we are not having, but at least we are having the smartphones that can give alert in coming future. All those things you need not to wait for the pop-up of notifications, etc. Automatically IoT devices or thermostat control, etc. Can take care of the current electricity prices in peak hours, off peak hours, that can be taken care of by IoT. But in Indian scenario, we cannot resort to that basically. So you need not to worry about that. But in coming years, say 10 to 20 years, this will be a reality. Yeah, every technology is having some challenges. So we need to improve the blockchain literacy. Scalability issues are also there. So you need not need to go, you need to shift on Red Belly blockchain or whatever. But in this particular case, we are not having much of the stakeholders. If you're talking about the generation and transmission sector, but yeah, if you are going to distribution sector, scalability issues will be there that can be solved by utilizing the latest infrastructure or latest software. Regulatory challenges, GDPR, Global Data Protection Regulation, has been has given right to every consumers to protect their privacy. But in this blockchain, once the data is being done, it cannot be erased because yeah, definitely this is the limitation, because you cannot tamper the data, and if at all you want to erase the data, then definitely you have to utilize more and more electricity, and you have to go step by step. You have to delete many transactions history, and that is near to impossible in this particular blockchain. Cyber security challenges, definitely you need to adopt this, means you need to install the latest virus protections in your PC or nodes or mobiles, so that because whenever IT is involved, then definitely the cyber hack also come. But yeah, compared to other technology, this cyber security challenges are less, but yeah, still there. Lack of awareness, cost of technology. Currently, it's costlier, but in further coming years, definitely it will be cheaper. This is the paper which we have published in IIT Mumbai, or presented in IIT Mumbai. This is basically energy banking through smart contracts, tokens, and blockchain technology. First step in shaping a full-fledged electricity market in India. This was probably the first paper on blockchain from Indian power sector. This you can understand easily that how this blockchain will work. These are the basically some names which you can easily identify, that RPCs, RLDCs, SLDCs, NLDC, SEB, power plant, power traders, distribution licensing, transmission licensing, all are put on a particular network or blockchain platform, and all are acting as a node. So this is, I think, easily understandable to our power sector, that how this can be framed in power sectors. Basically, unauthorized users are not allowed in this, and this is basically permission network, permission private network, and there the electricity consumption is not much for doing any transaction. If you are having the permissionless network, then they need to go for more electricity consumptions, and more fraudulent cases may happen. But in this uh, closed network, these all are not the possibilities. This we have proposed that how can you utilize this smart contracts or crypto tokens in blockchain technology. Tendering process is always cumbersome, so in that case you can use that smart contract in the real time settlement. So this you can study at the later stage. I will be sharing with you all. So how this contracts, basically tenders, it's having some human intervention, and then there are chances of corruption and all. But if you adopt this particular thing, chances of corruption is lesser. This is the iPower coin which we have proposed in this particular paper. So in short, we can understand that sometimes what happens that the money intended to power sector is not being spent in the power sectors. Sometimes it gets siphoned off some through shell companies, and also in that case you can cover that security. So for that, whatever transaction will happen in power sector, that will be in the shape of or form of crypto tokens. Again, I am want to clarify that I am not talking about the cryptocurrency. I am talking about the crypto tokens basically, and that will be some token issuing utility I have shown in this particular slide, TIU. So that will be a centrally controlled token utility. Whatever fund or whatever grant you are getting, you will have to go to TIU, and that will issue that crypto tokens. Like we have named this I Power Coin, India Power Coin. You can utilize, you can have all the transaction in this particular crypto tokens, so that this particular siphoning of money or some corruption angles can be avoided. So firstly, you have to derive the value of iPower coin. So you can have derived from the market clearing price of energy exchange for average NCP of energy exchange of last financial year in rupees. The first price can be derived from that. Suppose for 100 rupees you are getting one power coin, so you need to correlate with the power prices. In India, already some pilot projects are coming or under final stage also. UP government has already introduced a blockchain technology for its rooftop solar power segment, and definitely it is in coming years they will come out with the results. ISGF and Power Ledger Australia are collaborating in this particular thing. Pilot project of Delhi Discom is also in collaboration with Power Ledger Australia for solar rooftop power. So slowly we are entering in this blockchain technology, and pilot project even in India is also coming over there. So again, automated meter reading, billing settlement, NOAR, REC registry mechanism. Wherever registry and commercial settlements come, this blockchain will automatically come in picture. This is the second part of my topic, virtual power plant. So this we need to understand that a virtual power plant is basically the aggregation of resources, aggregation of the generator, generator, and solar farms, wind farms, or the community, or the end consumers. And why we are calling it power plant? Because at times it will be able to give us a much needed power in the peak situation, and at times it can give the relief by having the power cut. So basically it's a small computer or small office from which it is all managed. It is not having any setup of power plant basically. It's a software based solution. Any private parties aggregators can enter in this arena. They can have the contracts with end consumers and to the grid operators or discoms, and they can manage the grid, they can help the grid, and they can also be called as the balancing responsible party or demand side mechanism or DER, whatever you can call. But virtual power plants is the word which is being coined by across the globe. Why you required basically virtual power plant? So again, we are slowly moving from traditional fossil fuel plants to decentralized RE power plants, and COP24 requirement, climate agreement requirement, all are saying that you need to shift to RE power plant, or you need to optimize the use of coal. You need to be net zero country in power utilizations basically. So these all things can be done with the use of virtual power plant, which can enable the DER stakeholders to participate in the wholesale market and demand side management also. Energy cloud management also you can call it. Different words are being coined, but basically it's constructing a bridge between a specialist grid operator and DERs. So as grid operator, we need to have some relief from those end consumers. And again, the small consumers cannot take risk in the electric trading. So for providing them a platform where the protection of small scale producers can be done and multiple risks of electric trading can be averted. So in that case, you need to have some aggregator or some party which can help you in meeting all these goals. Merits: optimizing the available resources, providing ancillary services, providing demand response, and responding immediately to price signals, managing load shedding. This all we have discussed in our earlier discussion itself. So basically, these are things we can say that responds immediately to the price signals. You can take an example of 10 ACs are running in a particular complex and some frequency is going down. You have lost less power. So this virtual power plant can either communicate to them or can have the control of those ACs. If at all they are put off or their temperature is being controlled for let's say 10 minutes, at that point of time those 10 ACs, you can further take example of 10 virtual power plant, then 100 ACs, or if you're having 20 virtual plant, in that way, some 10 megawatt, 100 megawatt, whatever you can give the relief in that particular peak period, that is really very helpful to manage the grid. You can see that at 19 hours or in morning 6 hours, at time the frequency goes up and frequency comes down. In that crunch period, this particular virtual plant will have most advantages. These all things are mostly repetitive. You can say that or reworded. Basically, oversupply of renewables. Suppose in solar periods, in morning 8 to 14, we are having solar power in the grid. In that particular case, if you're having oversupply of this renewable energy, that can cause cascade tripping also. So in that case, you need to have some aggregator or balancing person that they can utilize that power in suppose say charging of electric vehicle or utilizing washing machines in that particular time period or something of those sort that you can overuse this electricity and that can be accessed on the cheaper rate also. Congestion also that can be minimized, or in short we can say that manages his hiccups basically during the some part of the period of the grid, and this will definitely help in optimizing the built up of the power infrastructure, thus reducing the overall cost of the electricity. This setup what I was talking that you can have some PC in the center which can control, which can interact, not control basically, which can interact or communicate with all the constants of the grid. Currently, at certain times, I call the current grid as a non-communicative grid. And if at all this or virtual power plant blockchain will come, then every stakeholders of the grid can communicate with each other. They can understand each other's pain, basically. So suppose in common wording, you can say, and if you say your pain, the person will understand your pains and then take action. So in this particular virtual power plant mode, energy storage can share its pains, residential can share its pains, battery station also can uh, share the pains. You can run even your electric vehicle. You can take profit from electric vehicle also by utilizing, by purchasing the power, by charging your battery in the low price arena and selling the power to the grid in the high price arena. You can run your car or electric vehicle at times at a very minimal cost. This you can assume this earlier, and this slide in totality here we are not giving the name, we are considering all these as nodes basically. So whatever is connected to the virtual power plant or the grid are nodes for this particular blockchain language basically. System operators also there, everybody is there, but they all are representing a node. This is the actual virtual power plant infrastructure, we call it a next box, and these are being installed or in the premises of particular society or particular house. And there these systems, you can see the cables, communication cables and switches also. This communication and control can be taken care by a virtual power plant operator or by a PC or software. So this VPP operator can even have the direct control over the devices installed in your residence. So this is a real picture of a virtual power plant next box. This again, VPP can put its advantages in car charging also, which is definitely coming in the near future. So this is microgrid comparison with VPP. We need not to go in this. These are the largest virtual power plant installed in across the globe. So in 2012, Statecraft had started this. They have connected 1,300 wind farms, 100 solar energy, 12 biomass, and 8 hydro plants in this virtual power plant. And we cannot imagine the total capacity of 10,000 megawatt was being connected to a virtual power plant by Statecraft. And definitely they got good results, and now virtual power plant in Germany and all are being in vogue. Fred, this is a trial project by Evergreen Smart Project. This is in UK. So they have also demonstrated the potential of virtual power plant. As per Navigant's latest reports, 4 gigawatt, 2.12 gigawatt in Europe, 1.05, and this is daily increasing across the globe. So in India also, definitely in coming years, say 5 to 6 years, this will be a talk of the town. So we need to see whatever we are discussing, we need to see the business models also. A person who is interested in managing these grids, they can just venture in these issues and they can get the advantage or the first entry level advantages by adopting these business models, proposing for regulatory clearances, promotional incentives, etc. So whoever is the first entrant in any business will be able to tap the potential of that particular profit. So these all are the business cases also. We can everybody can venture and try your luck or try or talent in these particular fields. Startups also you can start. So way forward again, all countries like Germany, US, Australia are following this pursuit, and 2028 it is a forecast that PPP capacity will reach up to 35 gigawatt. So as far as Indian context is small, but definitely small steps will uh, get converted into the giant steps. This is all from my side, and this is my small biodata profile. And I am continuously trying to study the literature or the concepts or their implementation, so that we can or the larger community of power sector can get benefited through these technologies. So this is the saying, बूंद बूंद से घड़ा भरता है और बूंद बूंद से ही घड़ा खाली होता है. And if we save both drops, then we can fill two pots. जो भर रहा है वो और जो खाली हो रहा है वो, तो दो pot हम भर सकते हैं. And for me, it's called optimization. And by using virtual power plant, blockchain, AI, ML, regulatory and etc., we aspire for this optimization. Thank you, sir. This is all from my part. Shashank?
Hello.
Yes.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're
Can
audible.
someone sir? Shall we open the panel for discussion?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So, Jain sir, thank you so much for your presentation. To all the participants, first of all, thank you all for your patient listening. Now, I would like to inform to you that the panel is open for discussion. If anyone wants to interact with the expert or ask any query, he or she is most welcome to do so. My humble request, please unmute yourself one by one to avoid any disturbance, please. So, would anyone like to ask any query? Okay. Jain sir, I think everything was so well explained that nobody is having any query.
Okay, I am open to any queries at the later stage also. We can share our mail also, or you can interact with my mobile number also. So it's no issue. Sometimes in the real time we are not having the questions, but at later stage we can share it. No issue.
That's right, sir. That's quite right. Uh, Hello. Hello. Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, you're audible.
So Mr. Vinay is thanking you in chat box. He
Yeah,
writes,
thanks.
"Thank you, Mr. Santosh. It was really easy to understand the basic concept of blockchain and its application. I think he's not able to use his mic. That is why he's typing in the chat box." He has one query also, sir. Would you like me to iterate it?
Yeah, please.
Okay. So in blockchain, who owns or operates the network like transmission grid or distribution grid?
Oh, ownership never changes. Ownership will remain with those grid operators, transmission grid. These all are the added security layers or added layers which can help you in uh, functioning in the way you are doing right now. So it is not, the ownership is not going to change anywhere.
Thank you for your query, Mr. Vinay. I hope your query was resolved. Ladies and gentlemen, anyone else with any query? Okay, I think Mr. Vinay is satisfied with the answer.
Thanks, Vinay.
I think we are getting one more message in the chat box. I think because of some disturbances issues, participants are not comfortable unmuting themselves.
Okay, no issue, Shashank. We can share the presentation with them and they can put up their questions at the later stage.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. So, ladies and gentlemen, as Jan sir has already announced, we shall be sharing the today's presentation in your registered email IDs. So, with that, sir, shall we wrap up?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So, first of all, thank you so much, Jan sir, for your presentation today. It was really nice of you to take time from your busy schedule for this program. Also, thank you to all the participants who joined with us today. I would like to inform to all of you that the timing for tomorrow's session shall be 6 to 7:30 evening. That is 1800 to 1930 hours tomorrow. So my request to all of you to kindly be on time. And Jan sir, if you have time, we'll request you to also join the program if you have some time to spare, please.
Yeah, sure. Thanks a lot, Shashank, and thanks to all the participants who have shown so much patience in the new technology. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you to all the participants. Bye-bye and take care. We'll see you all tomorrow, please. Thank you.